Could you start by learning the piano with a rubbish keyboard, just following YouTube tutorials and avoid learning how to read sheet music? Absolutely. Would you be a little bit better off by investing in a decent instrument, picking a method that you're going to use, and maybe getting a teacher? Yes, probably a better bet. It's a bit like trying to ride, well, playing on a rubbish keyboard. It's a bit like trying to ride a kid's bike with deflated tires as opposed to riding on a road bike with pumped up tires and the bike's all made of carbon fiber. Of course, you're going to get a lot further and you're going to have a much better time riding on the carbon fiber bike. Wouldn't you agree? So, my name is Philip. I'm a professional pianist, composer, and piano teacher, and I'd love to share with you some insights that I've picked up along the way. They're basically bits of advice that I wish that my teachers taught me when I started off on my piano learning journey. So, something that I noticed that beginners or people who are interested in learning music seem to confuse is the idea of learning how to play the piano and also just getting an appreciation and understanding of music theory and harmony. So, learning how to play the piano actually involves literally repeating patterns over and over until your fingers can kind of play them automatically. Like if I'm playing something like, so to learn that part of the music, I spent a lot of time just repeating hands separately until my hands could could play it and flow naturally. And that's not something that you're just going to do spontaneously. That takes practice. Whereas I think a lot of people, I find beginners that come to me, what they actually just want to know is a little bit about music theory, about how chords work, because this is something that, for example, if you're a music producers come and they say, I want to learn to play the piano. It's like, I don't think you actually want to learn how to play the piano. I think you want to understand music harmony and things like chords, major chords, minor chords, diminished chords, augmented chords, scales, major scales, minor scales, jazz scales, whole tone scales. So there's all of these different concepts that we learn within music theory that you might want to learn because you want to understand music better, but that doesn't mean that you actually want to learn how to play the piano. These concepts in music theory, they transfer to other instruments as well. So yeah, that was one thing that I wanted to discuss. The other part is, for example, if you are deciding to learn how to play the piano, then what's important is learning about what learning styles you might have. You might have visual, auditory, kinesthetic, or read write. Those are the four main learning styles. Um, so it would make sense to choose which learning styles you have. And then connected to that, you also have are you going to be a person who's going to learn how to sight read music, or are you going to be training how to play by ear? Those are different skills. I, for example, learn how to sight read music, and it means my ear training is a little bit behind, but basically sight reading means that I can open up any piece of music, like for example here I've got some sheet music in front of me, and I'm able to just read it and play it kind of on the first try. If it's more complicated, it takes a bit more time. People who have really good ears, they can just listen to music and identify like so if you just heard that, you'd be able to hear kind of that sounds like that's a fifth, and you'd be able to just play it just by hearing it once. Whereas sight readers would want to see the music, or oral people would want to hear the music and they just copy that. None of them is necessarily better. They're both useful, and actually, I think a really competent musician is going to develop both of those skills a little bit in parallel. Although classical musicians tend to be better, sight readers and jazz musicians tend to be better. They have better ear training, but both of those things need you to learn music theory as well. Um, so yeah, learning how to play music definitely develops the brain. It's a very powerful way of developing the brain. That's really been proven. It develops actually scientifically. They said something like learning to play an instrument is an activity which lights up basically the whole brain. It's the most brain intensive activity that exists. So musicians are they have more developed brains. All of the different parts of the brain responsible for emotion, responsible for recording and recalling information. The ear, the part of the part of the brain that's responsible for listening. All of those things are developed. So I think that everybody should learn how to play an instrument. And yeah, there's so many cool benefits. And if you are interested in learning how to play, you can reach out to me and I could teach you some stuff on the piano, or subscribe and follow along. And we're going to make more videos teaching you how to play an instrument. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you.